ChritianTrendz TV. It's all about Jesus.
Because we are the Lord's army, equipped to possess the nations for Christ. You're welcome back. If you missed, well, you didn't miss much, and thankfully we are streaming on Facebook at Pen TV GH, so you can just go back a bit and then get to watch what you missed. It is, of course, the word of the week, and it's very important because it is the word of God that we can't do without. And right now is Ati's profile, and I have with me Christiana Attafuah. I'm sure you've heard this name several times. You've watched her videos and all that, and today, of course, we have her on the show. Actually, you are first artist for the year.
Wow.
Yes. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I do realize you're very passionate about what you do. Now, guys, let me tell you a short story. So, my outfit today, she had to help me with my outfit, and then while she was doing that, I just heard her doing and I was like, this song she's singing, she must sing it on air. But I just wanted to enjoy the moment before I tell her about it. And then when she was done, I was like, you see the song you were mumbling to, you'll be singing it on air. And she was like, which one? And she couldn't even remember, meaning she does this even when she's in her subconscious mood. She doesn't even know that that is happening, and it happens so, and that is what we call talent.
Wow.
Effortlessly you do it. So what makes you so passionate about what you do? In fact, when I watch your videos, the way you do the spoken word is so passionate. What keeps you going like that?
I think it's thank you for the question. I say thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Okay, so to the question, I think it's this examples of people I have seen work for God and love God, and what results they get and what results we are looking to get as Christians, as people of God. One of my favorite scriptures says that we are his workmanship, which he has created before, and that we should work in the way his workmanship. So if we are his workmanship and he has a certain agenda, he has a certain plan, then we should work towards it. So it is that God be pleased, that his agenda be fulfilled.
I like one thing you said. You said example. The examples you've seen, they give you results. You've seen what God can do in their lives, and then you're also hoping to get that.
Yes.
And that is why, that is what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Now, I once read something somewhere that people don't like to pray because they feel they are not getting answers to their prayers. They are not getting the evidence of what they are praying for. So I mean, why should I continue praying? And I think it's true. If I'm seeing you do something and there's no result out of it, I mean, why would I also do the same thing? But so long as we are getting results, of course we would. Okay, so that explains it. And I hope you're getting some of the results.
I am. I have seen.
Tell us.
I've seen God move in amazing ways.
Okay, can you give us examples?
So with good God and some other songs, God just picks it and then he puts it out there. You know, usually you're supposed to be doing a lot of publicity, but he is giving me love.
Yes.
He is giving me people who are doing it out of love, and that for me is priceless. It's amazing. So amazing is something I say all the time, usually in my bathroom. I think I've always done it. I say, you're amazing.
You're amazing. And that line, I think everywhere I pass, I hear at least one or two people sing, good God, you're amazing. They sing that part.
He's amazing. He is.
But let's not spoil it, okay? We'll get there. We'll get to good God. But before that, on artist profile, one thing we like to do is to get to know the person. Okay. So let's see, how's growing up like?
So I grew up, so my parents are Elder Edward Attafuah and Mrs. Phyllis Attafuah.
All right, shout out to them.
Yes.
I'm sure they're watching.
Yay, so shout out to you. So we used to wake up to music.
Okay.
You know, yaps, and then Getty and Friends.
Okay.
So at dawn, Daddy will be praying. You feel that he lays his hand on each one and prays for us. And then, well, we will still wake up and sleep anyway because someone is praying. Yes. And then after his prayer, these songs will be playing. So they left something in our subconscious, the kind of songs you're supposed to lean towards, love. And I think they did good.
I mean, you wake up to a gospel song.
Yeah.
How would you like another song? Because this is what you are used to. And right from childhood, they did this.
Yes.
Wow, I'll learn that. I'll put that in my purse. When I grow up, I'll do that to my kids. They wake up to gospel.
So it saturates the home with the presence of God.
Yes.
You know.
And I'm sure there were morning devotions as well.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Morning dawn devotions. I mean, even if you slept late. So it's good for you to sleep early.
Very
even
true.
if you slept late, It's nowadays that we can run around because you are going this. Like, dawn meeting was a constant. Even now, he sometimes wants to make it like we are meeting. I'm like, yeah. But they all bless. That's an opportunity to listen. And then sometimes even as a child, you lead a certain prayer, you'll be asked to pray, you know. So all those things were a great help.
Preach.
Yes.
Because you have to preach.
What you learned in Sunday school.
Exactly. Wow, that was amazing. How about school?
So school.
Oh wait, you didn't tell us how many siblings you've got.
There are 3 of us.
Okay.
James and then Joanna, an elder sister, a younger brother.
Okay, so
an elder brother, a younger sister. So I'm in the middle.
And you're all day.
Me try.
All right, let's go to school. How was school?
So Daddy bought a lot of books for us.
Okay.
Daddy bought a lot of books for us, and Mommy ensured that you read it. And if you read it, you got chicken and bread reward. You know, so I was in Meadow Preaching School, then to Swesco Americans. Then I was in Legon. Okay. And I've been to GIJ.
I think that one we all know. We know about the Legon. We all know that, don't we? Okay, and then to GIJ.
Yes.
Okay.
An MA in PR, Public Relations.
Great.
Yeah, but I did History and English in Legon.
Okay.
And Literature, CRS in Swesco.
All right. So, at what point? I mean, it's very normal in most Christian homes that the kids are going to wake up to morning devotions. They are going to pray whether they like it. In fact, when you are dozing, you might as well get a knock for you to wake up. But when it comes to you giving your life to Christ, it's a personal decision.
Yeah.
At what age did you do this?
Okay, so I had that church transition that comes from, we have left Sunday school and then we have been taken to youth, we are led to Christ. But if there's a point where I really saw my relation, before I go to Swedo, I think while I was in church, Dakuma Central Church of Pentecost, whenever there was this prophecy time or worship time, there was a certain presence. I still remember one time sitting at the back on the seat, and anytime there was a prophecy, it feels like I heard it within myself. And I was telling God, I really don't want to do this kind of prophecy. But if you would give me any form of it, that's fine. But I really don't want to stand up and, you know. But I just didn't like that feel. But I've seen God do it in different ways. I mean, it has something to do with the poetry. But so to Swedo, there were times of prayer. There was a devotion almost every time at Swedo Secondary School, and I think those things really shaped my life. So I think Swedo was just a blessing.
Okay. Right. And you prayed a prayer. You said you didn't want this type, but he should give you another.
Yes, another. And
our God is a prayer answering God.
Yes.
He did it for you.
Yes.
We thank God for that. Now, let's talk about the craft you have, this talent you have, the spoken word, the way you do it and all that. And director, once our files are ready, let me know so that we start with some of these files so our viewers can see. Just in case you have never seen it, I'll give it all to you. How did this start? Of course, you said we had prayer.
He loves not only with things, but with his life. People are borrowing to buy gifts for loved ones. Love gifts. I hope you brought something for Jesus. Rise up and give some praise to the risen Christ who cared to lay your restlessness to rest. Once he is charging no appearance fee, I will frequent my visits to his throne to pitch my thanks in style each day as though it were free kicks free. Look, your case is no different. It can't but change. Even the gates of hell obey him. He folded the summons of death and thwarted the warrants of legal justice like nothing. This is what happened. He begged for my burdens and carried them with him to the grave. But on the midnight of the third day, he rose and shook off the mess I gave him and the ones I will ever make, and laid a wreath on them. And when I asked questions, he began telling stories like, oh, when to me, mio. Media samaso inkunim ding oni merade. When I asked again, he smiled and continued, Titi memuno mionyami enede isu mionamyo mi dasuye onyami mi satrada. So have you not realized that Obama no
Wow. I mean, it's one thing to hear a spoken word where all you are doing is enjoying it because there's some rhyming in it and all that. But this one makes sense. Of course, there are some that will make sense, but not really. But this one, and the way you blend it with music, tell us, how do you do that?
So it's a lot of grace, eh?
Yes, I can tell.
And as I started singing first,
okay,
and then the poetry, I started doing stage poetry.
Okay, so you were singing first?
Yes, I started singing when I was in class 2.
Sunday school?
Yes,
yeah.
Anointed
Okay.
Singers was a
What?
blessing. Anointed Singers.
Anointed
yeah,
Singers.
Dakuma Central.
Okay.
So,
are they still?
Yeah. Anointed is still
Okay.
it's still standing. So that's where singing started. But I started writing early. I remember in class 6 maybe. But I was writing for myself. I wasn't allowing anybody to read my work. Until one of my teachers in JSS, Mr. Sante, found my script and like, nobody, why are you keeping this to yourself? You know? But still, stage poetry started from Legon.
Okay. From class what?
You know,
hiding the talent till Legon. Oh goodness.
So I was writing. I was just writing. But really, I started stage poetry from Legon.
Is it because you were shy of the crowd? You didn't want to stand in the public eye, or what could have been the reason?
Usually the writing started from my quiet time. So they came to me as God speaking directly.
Okay.
So I really, initially, I didn't find use for them immediately, other than the fact that they were literary works that could be made into a book sometime in life. But I saw Florence Halm. She's a poet.
Okay.
I saw her do poetry. But growing up, I watched Professor Tukwe Okai and some others. But I saw Florence Halm do poetry. And then Bakweku came to do and said, this is what has been in my mind, you know.
Wow.
So that is when I think it started coming together. In Pensa Literary Society, PLS, you know, Legon. It was also an opportunity to learn. Yeah. I didn't even start with stage when I went to PLS. The first poetry I ever did, I did voiceover.
Okay.
I didn't show up on stage. So from maybe level 200, 300 is when I started stage poetry.
Well, we thank God that at the end of the day you still came out with it, and we thank God for that. I have one. Do you remember the one we just played?
That piece is from 2015.
Yes,
I could remember. Don't ask me to do it.
don't ask me to, but I told you owe us one, so you definitely do one. So be preparing one down. I think that was from Tahila also, or the Tahila one that we play next, but this particular one is from 2015. You know, I have to go all the way back and let's see where it started from, because my viewers need to know that Master, we didn't just appear like that. It's like we've been preparing, and you see, she's been preparing since class 4 or 2.
Okay, singing.
Oh my goodness, we thank God. So director, if I can have the next one.
Of state show up in a place before the president does. His mercies go ahead of him. Or is he not the boss of all? See, our introductions will not be enough, but with our mouth we will still do the best we can. Yeah, here we go. Also now, yeah, also when men gather to praise and skilled fingers strike strings for the courts of worship, something stirs in the heavens, and while some presence encamps around his lovers. We are talking about terrifying glory that a king and judge wears. Consider for a second what the jealousy of men can do, and then attempt to look in the docket of he who is the personality of love himself. Also now, also Nigel.
You know what I'm about to say. And your favorite line in that particular
so this piece, I think I originally wrote it for Medina, an assembly in Medina.
Okay.
You know, consider what the jealousy of men can do, and then attempt to look into the dockets of he who is the boss himself, something like that. You see, God is awesome in his power. I like how this piece discusses his power and lays it side by side with politicians. You see, when a president or a leader is coming, other people come so that they take care of, okay, is this ready, is this? But you see, we have not looked at it that way for our king. That when our king says he's coming, lately I saw something say that when he comes, he shows off. When God comes, he shows off. That is what it is. When you have waited and he says he's coming, he just blows your mind. And that is what he's awesome like that. About the look. So Catherine Coleman, I love that lady. Interesting enough, I'm not really able to watch her for a long time, because when I watch, I'm like, what is this? You know, there's so much intimacy with God, so that she looks so strange. So did I set out to look like her? I really don't know, but I love the grace she carries. You know, I love it when I've read some of her books. I love it when the power of God is at work in a place. When miracles are happening, when people feel and know that, you see, whether we feel it or not, God does not change. Or whether we don't feel, that doesn't make that he's not God. But when he decides to show up in a place and show off, imagine your father shows up in a place and then he's changing things. You know, so I love that about Catherine Coleman's ministry, and I think that's what sometimes speaks into how I.
Of course, it's a prayer that he used you like he used her. So I know that is your desire to. So definitely. Now for me, I thought, because I knew you from doing spoken word and all that, and now there's a song out, I felt you were doing just the spoken word, and then you mix it with songs and all that. But now you mentioned that, well, you used to sing first. So I was about to ask, are you shifting from spoken word to now music, or what are we doing? Because even Good God, I think at the latter part there was a bit of spoken word in there. So are you shifting, or you're going to be doing both for us?
Okay, so will I call it a shift? I don't know, maybe. But this is what it is. Most of the poetry lines came to me maybe in prayer, maybe quiet time, or sometimes I could just be meditating and then I hear the words and I write them down. But for some time now, my prayer times and devotion times have rather received songs other than poetry. You know, so it's not as if I have changed something I'm doing, but I'm hearing differently. Initially, I could sit in I had a very good time in Lagos. Whenever I was alone, it was amazing, because I meditate and I'll hear the lines word for word. So I don't intentionally sit down to create rhymes. No,
that's what I was talking about.
So like being present in his presence. So when you be sure to be present in his presence when you present your presence of praise. Some lines, rhyme lines, the decoder that decodes the encoded, those things, they come to me, you know, and I write them down. I could try and create some, but if I'm writing without inspiration, you see me here, it's a blast. I will have a hard time.
That is true.
So now I hear songs, I hear melodies, other than the poetry lines.
I mean, our God is dynamic. Sometimes he chooses what he wants to do. So, well, maybe at a point he was giving you spoken words, he was giving you words to speak, but now it's songs maybe he wants to do. Of course, we are ready for him. Whatever he gives you, the church is ready to receive it. Now, I'm sure someone is watching and is wondering, I think I have this giftings, but how do I also develop it? How do I also get this inspiration? How do I sit down and it just comes to me for me to write it down, or for me to even, because trust you me, when we hear songs, we can tell which one is just, excuse me to say, chaff. And then there are songs that you hear and you just want to worship, you just want to praise, and you know that this is actually a song the person has received. So I'm sure someone is watching and is yearning, Christiana Attafuah, how do you do this? So tell that person watching.
I want to say that prayer is key. Prayer is important. When Mama Eunice Johnson, or any other of our mothers, Mama Gina, they say pray. Initially I thought, oh, yeah, we are praying. They don't mean come and do 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, really, it's good. I mean, you don't have to overlook the little you can do, but really they mean intense prayer, time with God, and receiving, listening, being open. And I learned that your heart condition is very important. You know,
so 1, pray. 2, heart condition.
Yes. And then the Bible, obviously.
Very important.
I think a lot of what has helped me was the fact that I got opportunity to do CRS in Swesco, so it gave me some understanding, Bible basic understanding, and then coming forward, quiet time, church, don't pray, and all that. You know, sometimes, and I want to encourage us, let us not take the sermons at church for granted, especially if you are seated in a Penti church. You know, and we sit and you listen, you not only hear your pastor, you hear God. You know, so we should not take those times for granted, and we should not give up or be discouraged. You know, my initial writings, they weren't as welcomed. Well, I had some very interesting comments.
Tell us about it. People discouraged you?
You see, sometimes people don't intentionally mean to discourage you, but I mean, in thinking that they're doing you good. You know, I had somebody say that you should just focus on writing and let somebody do the presentation. And then somebody was like, who wrote this thing? Like, what is this? Just repetitions, like, you know. And they didn't mean to. You know, but sometimes some of these things. But I also want to appreciate people around that said, do this, you can do it. And I mean, it'll get
you
better.
Can mention their names.
You know, Kojo J, MD. You know, Senior Paul, God, he's amazing. I could go on stage. Sometimes I miss my lines, and he's like, "No, you did good. You did well." My praying mama. And, you know, the first time I sang, I missed the keys. I from class. I used about 7 keys, and the choir was angry. And my father was so excited. His daughter is doing something.
No.
You know, so people have been good. People have been amazing, and above, I think God decided each one of these. Yesterday I was reading something from Romans 6 and talking about sufferings, generating us endurance and character. You know, God doesn't allow things to come to us for coming sake or to destroy us. Sometimes the things that we consider come to break us, come to build us, shape us. You know, so there have been hard times. Even why I would start doing poetry is I didn't want to write so much so that I exposed a lot of what I was feeling. So poetry initially was a way to conceal words in words, to hide exactly how it is I felt. But God used it.
And you see, sometimes the people who criticize you, they are doing you good. Because once they are talking about it, you are going to be hard on yourself to even be better. And so sometimes the critics are good. I mean, we welcome it all the time. I mean, for me, when I meet people, I ask, you think I'm doing well, or what do I need to make better. So it's normal, and that is what has brought you
Yes,
this far. And
it has.
thank God you didn't give up. So to you out there too, do not give up. No, you don't have to give up at all, because it is a process and you're going to get there. With all these things, they're going to shape you. So don't take it in a bad way at all. Allow it, enjoy it. And for those who encourage us, those who encouraged her, God bless you, Pa, because today and now we are seeing what we are seeing today. So director, do we have good God? Let's play it. We'll come back and then we'll talk about how amazing it is.
You are amazing. You are a good God. This life is yours. This song is from my heart. You are amazing. You are a good God. This life is yours. The seasons, you are the peace of this whole wide world. You calm the raging storms. Say you keep the stillness. You see the seas. You are the peace of this whole world. And you calm the
viewership on this particular song.
Yeah.
Have you checked it?
Yeah, I think I have.
You think?
I have.
We are checking. 6,000 so far. 16K is no joke, my dear. And the smiles on your face. How do you feel now?
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. Like, yeah, you did it.
Amazing God,
God
is
is
good.
You know, God is good. It's exciting.
Okay, so you mentioned where you received the song. Take us back again.
Okay, so I was in a church.
Trotsky.
Yeah, Trotsky. So I said I would say Trotsky. The Trotsky left me. So I was in a Trotsky one Friday morning, going to work.
Okay.
So for some time my salary had stopped. I think there was a case with an admin. Something had to be done.
That's a serious issue.
Yeah, so for like 3 months my salary had not come, and I'd already used my money for some investments, so they were disturbing me. And I sat in the car at the front, and there was a very old lady sitting by me. Usually I want to just pay.
Yeah.
But I was calculating, I was like, today is not a day for paying you, Christy.
You wanted to pay for the old lady?
I wanted to pay for the old lady. Usually I meet very old people, I'd want to do that. But I thought about it, I said, no, Christy, we are on a budget. You can't do that. So I didn't pay. Just when I decided not to pay, a lady sitting on my right gave money to the mate and said, I'm paying for the old lady. I was like, I felt so bad. So it was like God wanted it done.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so he couldn't use you today. I was feeling so sad, so bad. And then I just heard the Holy Spirit say, no, it's fine. I'm not mad at you. I just wanted it done. It's not like I'm holding it against you. I'm not holding it against you. So I was quiet in the car, and I was humming for a very long time. I hummed for a very long time. So when I got down at my station, and I was like, wait, is it not a new song you are humming? You know? So
just I was saying from the start, in your subconscious mode, you are doing something and you don't even know it. So that was what happened.
Yes. So, so while I was walking by, I said, no, so we have to start putting lyrics to it, you know? So then I started in my head the lyrics, putting things together. So that was it. I think it was in July or August. No, it should be July. The money was not coming around that time. So that was how. So the chorus or refrain. But
I hope the money is coming now.
Oh yeah, it is actually. And look at what God will do. The time it came, it was just in time to pay for production and all these things. So God
is good all the time. Okay, we thank God. It's a beautiful song and it's doing so well. I mean, it tells how our God is really, really amazing, and He's a good God. No matter what, He's always good to us. And the way He calms the storm. Especially when I remember 2020, 2019. Maybe the 2019 there we didn't really feel the heat, but 2020 how we felt the heat of Corona. But then the way God did everything and all that.
And if you permit me to say, the beginning, the chorus came early, and then later the first lines came. Unto You, O Lord, also came at a different time.
Wow.
So the first part of it had a lot to do with Corona. You know, everything was shaking, and yet there was a calm. So a lot of that verse speaks to that moment where God is still holding things in check, even when everything is shaking. And Good God came out even before, like, we released it officially. I shared it at the Friday was a morning before a day with Him. So a day with Him is a worship gathering.
Tell us about that.
So a day with Him is a worship gathering. It's a 24-hour worship service.
Wow.
And I should say, yes, it has been very instrumental in a lot of the shifts that has happened in my life.
Please invite me to the next one.
Please, you're welcome.
I'll be there.
I mean, it is just open for people who want to love the Lord.
I see foreigners do that a lot. They are just sitting and worshiping, and I'm like, why would Ghanaians also do this? So that also goes also sing.
You know, so it's the version Ghana. Chumesi Yabwa is the host. He does. So, but it's open to all. So I shared the song there because I received it that morning. I thought, okay, let's share it with the family of God, and that's how Good God came out. Even before we shared it.
He's a good God. Any other information I need to know? Maybe there's something I haven't asked about Good God.
So there's a song around Oyeyesu. Oyeyesu is Good God's friend. So Oyeyesu, Good God came before Oyeyesu, but Oyeyesu went around before Good God did.
Wow.
You know.
Okay, then I think it's Oyeyesu that you do for us. So over to you.
Sashi Oyeyesu.
Yes.
Oye Yesu, Oye Yesu, Oye Yesu, Oye Yesu, Oye Yesu, Onyankopon doba krono, wafrenu Yesu Kristo. Oye Yesu, Onyankopon doba krono, nidindi Yesu Kristo.
Beautiful. And the way you smile when you are singing, when you're doing your spoken, is so beautiful. Keep it up.
Thank
I know
you.
we'll see you at the top. In fact, the top, no, you've already arrived. So it'll keep going and going. Now, before you go, I'm sure someone is watching. They want to follow you on social media, subscribe to your YouTube channel. So give us the handle to your social media platforms.
Okay, so the name is Christiana Attafuah on YouTube, Christiana Attafuah on Facebook, Christiana Attafuah on TikTok.
Oh, you're on TikTok?
I am, but you know, it looks like people got there ahead of me. Or Yesu got there, Google got there before I showed up there. But it's amazing.
Like you said, when God is about to show up,
he shows off, you know.
So we have to show you up before you come.
Yes, and then _Attafuah on Instagram. But I think, to be on the safer side, just keep Christiana Attafuah everywhere. You see something, a picture may show up, so it'll be easy to find it.
But just be careful, because cameras are around.
You know.
Now,
so
you're a star, so we can't.
Yeah, so please, Christiana Attafuah on YouTube, Christiana Attafuah on Facebook, Christiana Attafuah on TikTok, _Attafuah on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Christiana Attafuah. So please, Christiana Attafuah.
All right. Any last words for the viewers before you go?
I encourage us to hold on to God. Our times are not his times. He may not show up when you think he should show up, but he will definitely show up. And when he shows up, he will show up big. Keep praying. He's a prayer answering God. Keep reading the word. He speaks to us, appreciates people, love people. Hold on to God. Our God is faithful. He will come through.
Okay, please, I have a special director today.
Okay.
And she's saying that someone is saying that I'm a messenger. Let me read it. We have to ask if you've been grabbed already.
I think I know where it's coming from.
You know the special
So,
director.
should I say that I don't want to do free marketing or free adverts? I don't want to do free adverts. So you
see her later.
I'll see her in Chambers.
I thought I was hiding her identity. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. This is ChritianTrendz.
Thank you
an
so
edifying
much.
Gospel-based entertainment show. We laugh here, we do all that, but at the end of the day, Jesus is the center of it all. And so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
When next there's a new song, I'm always available. Just let me know.
Hey,
In fact, I'm sure I'll see it before you see it. Because I'm always on the internet saying who has done something new for our Lord Jesus when it comes to singing. So we're praying with you, we are praying for you, and we are asking God to use you more, because in this generation we need people like this to influence us here as we are possessing the nations everywhere. So thank you so much for coming once again.
Thank
God
you so
will
much.
richly